After a rocky Week 3, Dallas needed to come out strong and remind the world why they deserve to be at the top tier teams. Whether it was hard work or the confidence of playing in front of thousands of screaming fans, the Fuel came out on Saturday and looked as strong as ever, taking an easy 4-0. Starting on Oasis's University, an initial pick from Penseong Fade Ko gave Dallas an early lead in the map. After winning several fights in dominant fashion, the Fuel were finally forced off the point at 99%. However, the Valiant's rule would be short. After a mere 30%, the Fuel flipped the point back in their favor. Immediately after, a well-placed transcendence from Benjamin Unko Chavason blocked the door, and a following grab from Dylan AKM Bignay prevented the Valiant from even recontesting. On City Center, the arena was treated to seeing AKM on McCree. Despite this, the Fuel lost the first capture after a long drawn-out fight. Dallas took it back rather quickly, but after losing it at 81%, they needed to switch compositions. Dallas swapped to 3-3 and took back at 99% after storing a safe number of ultimates. They went on to win the map in an easy fashion by clearing the point, taking an early lead. Dallas won Oasis on a final score of 2-0. The Dallas defense was initially very strong on Anubis, and they knocked off over 3 minutes of the Valiant's time just on point A. Their defense would continue on to point B, preventing any initial capture. However, a rather cocky aggressive shatter play from Minseok OGE Son created an opening for LA to attack. After giving up nearly 3 ticks, OGE came back in with another shatter and held them off with 96% taken. The Valiant were unable to finish off the round, and a big double kill bomb from Lucas No Messner ended the push. The Fuel had a slow offensive push, but after steadily stacking ultimates, they eventually took A in less than 2 minutes. Their attack on B resulted in several failed pushes that didn't amount to any percentage. However, finally a big shatter and grab combo came in and wiped out LA, securing the map for the Fuel. The Dallas Fuel won Anubis on a final score of 2-1. Dallas's defense on Eichenwald was insanely precise and calculated, not letting the Valiant get any progress until overtime. No in particular was getting kill after kill and overall just playing insanely well. The Fuel may have lost the point, but they somehow still won the fight and killed off the Valiant. Then they proceeded to spawn camp for several minutes. Finally, after an overtime hold that lasted over 2 minutes, picking off trickling spawn attackers, they cleared the payload before the Eichenwald main gate could even open. The offensive round was just as one-sided for the Fuel. They took point A by only securing a single kill, and then wiped off the Valiant to move the payload only a couple meters to the goal. They effectively won the round and series without taking a single death on offense. Dallas won Eichenwald on a final score of 2-1. On Dallas's defense on Junkertown, the Fuel were mostly unable to stop the progress of the Valiant despite a strong 3-3 look. They held for a bit of time on A, but overall gave up all 3 points rather quickly. Over 2 minutes remained in time bank for the Valiant after their attack round. On offense, the Fuel finally showed the screaming crowd some cherished DPS, having AKM play Widowmaker and letting Zachary Lombardo play Hanzo. They pushed quickly through A, but were halted on B and needed to swap to Goats. It was a slow start waiting on ultimates to come online, but once they did, they powered through them and rode the momentum to the end of the map, despite with less time in the bank. The Fuel ran another DPS composition on offense for the second time. They got through point A rather easily, but the Valiant collapsed on them halfway through B and prevented any further progress. Yet on defense, the Fuel looked strong. They ran the 3-3 and held until overtime on point A, but were forced to give it up in overtime. However, they turned it around and held right past the gate to win the series 4-0. Dallas won Junkertown on a final score of 5-4. Dallas looked back up to full form today, a welcome sight to be sure. It certainly was for thousands of Fuel fans present today, cheering on their team with glee. With a game against the winless, nearly mapless Outlaws tomorrow, this week should be an easy 2-0. It's refreshing when the biggest concern with the Fuel isn't if they'll get a win, but rather whether the crowd will finally see Pong Pop Mickey Ratana Sangchok play this season. the Dallas Fuels swept the Los Angeles Valiant on a final score of 4-0.